Welcome to Ongerup Football Association's Round 6 Wrap for Saturday, May 19, 2018. I'm Gary Bartholomew. With me is Association President since 2001. Good morning, Kim Parsons.
Good morning to you, Gary, and morning to your listeners. A couple of reasonably good games in the OFA on the weekend, and scores were, all games were reasonably close.
Yes, the OFA Southern Derby was a ripper.
It was. Both. Yep, very good game of footy.
We'll come to that. At Jerramungup in the juniors, a win for the home side, 9-8-62, Naranggarup 7-6-48, the margin 14 points. Best for Jerramungup, Marshall Solomon, Jaden Morton and Tristan Wisewood. And for Naranggarup, Murray Haywood, Clifton Carpio and Joshua Noakes. In the reserves, Naranggarup 38 winners over Jerramungup, 13-11, 89 to 8-3-51. The goals for Naranggarup, Robbie Miniter 4, Bailey Dowsett, Scott Dowsett and Dwayne Punch 2 each. For Jerramungup, Tate Barrett 3, Jeremy Wisewood 2. Best for Naranggarup, Scott Dowsett, Edward Brown and Zane Bolton. And Jerramungup, Tate Barrett, Mark Ogier and Rowan Obbs. For the league side, in the league game, Naranggarup 31-point victors over Jerramungup, 15-11, 101 to 11-4, 70. The goals for Naranggarup, Damien Stewart 6, big day there, and Stanley Long-Turner back at the Bulldogs 3. Jerramungup, Joel Ebert 3 and Andy Solomon 2. For best for the winners, Tyler Caldwell, who won the belt-up ball, Damien Stewart and William Limbert. And for Jerramungup, Ben Hislop, he seems to be in the top 3 every week there, Callum Bailey and Bronson Spencer. And the game comment, big tick for Narangarup's foot skills. Yeah,
it was. Naranggarup, they use the ball just so well. And like we've said time and time again, Gary, they just seem to have, multiple goal kickers. And, Tyler Caldwell kicked a couple as well, and so did Craigie Bolton Jr., they sort of won the ball out of the middle. Caldwell was outstanding all day. He certainly was the difference in the middle of the ground. But they had good, strong contributors and winners all over the field. Jerramungup never gave up and ran the game, out really well right at the end, kicking 4 goals in the last quarter to 4 from Naranggarup, of which one was a double goal. There was a push in the back in a kicking motion. He was given the goal and then given another shot right on the line, which was a little bit confusing to some spectators and got the crowd involved for a couple of minutes. But and Jerramungup were closing in a little bit then, but to get 12 points in 30 seconds sort of changes the game. And Naranggarup thoroughly deserved to win. They were stronger all over the field. They had a few players out as well. Big Phil Rumble didn't play. Marley Phillips didn't play, so they've still got players to come back in. And as you saw in their reserves, got a bit of depth back in the reserves. They've been struggling of recent times, but had plenty of players on the weekend, and good to see their reserves back with full numbers again, because they've been so strong in reserves over the years. But Jerramungup, definitely Ben Hislop back into the side. He missed the week before in the game they lost, and played really well. But they just don't have enough goal kickers, Jerramungup. They struggle up forward, and Naranggarup were just too good all over the field, I felt. Yeah,
absolutely. At Lake Grace, in the juniors there, Boxwood Hill 4-7-31 beat Lake Grace Pingerup 2-4-16, that margin 15 points. And the best for Lake Grace, Luke Clifford, Lucas Robinson and Rylan Gooden. For in the reserves, Boxwood Hill 12-9-81 to Lake Grace Pingerup 11-7-73, the margin 8 points. The major goal scorer for Boxwood Hill was Jared Kingwick 6, big day out, and Lake Grace Pingerup, Patrick Smith 3 and Jackson Calopi 3. In the league, Boxwood Hill 17-11, 113, Lake Grace Pingerup 13-12-90, 23-point margin. Goals for Boxwood Hill, Robert Lee 4, Aaron Davis 3 and Luke Treby 3. For Lake Grace Pingerup, Luke Bairstow 4, Mitchell O'Neill 3 and Luke Henderson 2. The best for Boxwood Hill, Jeremy Walker back again, Isaac Baum and Robert Lee. And for Lake Grace Pingerup, Jack Carruthers, Kane Pinney, Rowan Trevennan And very close game, played in excellent spirit was the game comment.
Yeah, good win for Boxwood up at Lake Grace. I tipped Boxwood to win that game. Thought it'd be good even contest, and that's the way it unfolded. Luke Bairstow obviously playing a bit more up forward than unless he kicked them out of the middle, which would think he spent a bit of time forward. But Jeremy Walker back this year after missing most of last year with a broken foot, and he's certainly been in good form. He was very good against Jerramungup a couple of weeks ago, and again on a weekend, outstanding. Robert Lee's been really good for the Boxwood Bombers, and they were obviously playing for the rights to call themselves the Bombers, these two clubs, and I did hear one of them wish the other one all the best as the Jets instead of the Bombers on the weekend, so that was quite interesting. But and it was also their ice day, their big freeze day, and I don't know how much money they raised, but the same event last year they raised $40,000 for MDN, so let's hope they had a really big effort again on the weekend, and good win though, getting back to Boxwood away from home. It's they've won 2 in a row, both away from home.
The OFA grassroots footy at its best. The ladders, Kim.
In the ladders, we'll start with the juniors. Jerramungup juniors still undefeated, 5 from 5. They did have a big scare on the weekend, and Owengup kids were really, really good. So good game of footy that one. But Jerramungup got over the top in the last, so they're 5 from 5. Then we have Owengup and Boxwood both with 3 wins. And then Newdigate with the 1 win, and Lake Grace Pingerup Juniors yet to have a win. And obviously, the Year 7 kids going away is having a huge effect on somewhere like Lake Grace because they've been so strong in the past in the juniors, and I would think that they won't be down there all year. They'll get players, on school holidays and things, but very strange to see them winners. In the reserves, Boxwood Hills, 5 from 5 out on top, and with all their older guys staying around the club and still playing, Jared King and kicking multiple handfuls of goals week after week, they're a very good side, Boxwood. Lake Grace, Pingerup, Newdigate and Noangarup, all with 2 wins, and then Jerramungup with the 1 bringing up the bottom of that ladder. In the league side, Noangarup undefeated, 5 from 5 on top. Boxwood Hills with 3 wins in second spot. Then Newdigate and Jerramungup both with 2 wins apiece, and Lake Grace Pingerup yet to have a win.
Okay, move on to top goal kickers, please. In
our goal kicking, Craigie Bolton Juniors moved to the top with his 2 goals on the weekend. He goes up to 14. The big mover, though, is Damon Stewart from the Newdigate Footy Club with his 6 to go to 12, and he's jumped up the ladder. Shane Davey, who didn't kick a goal, so I would suggest he didn't play on the weekend or move back to the back line where he's accustomed, played most of his football. And then Dean Rintoul, obviously having the bye, Jared Offer also a bye, and Kane Penny all on 10 goals each.
Okay, we move on to this Saturday's fixtures. That's May 26, round 7. Winless Lake Grace Pingerup at home again, this time to Jerramungup, 4th spot, 2 and 3.
And this will be a test for Jerramungup because they weren't disgraced on the weekend, that's for sure, but they've lost their past 2 games, so they'll be desperate for a win. And at Lake Grace, they always have a really good battle, these 2 clubs. So I'll tip Jerramungup just to come out on top, but a win to Lake Grace Pingerup will not surprise me. They've got a pretty proud club up there, and Lukey Bairstow is obviously in pretty good form. And, they'll be hard to beat at home, but I think Jerramungup might get up on top of them if they've got a full side in.
Newdigate 3rd with 2 and 2, host Boxwood Hill 2nd with 3 and 2.
And the last time these 2 sides met, I don't think there was much in. I think it was 11 points or something like that. But at home, Newdigate, it all depends if they've got all their players available. And all these games could be hugely affected if there's rain on Thursday and Friday, because there'll be a lot of these clubs have got tractor drivers and farmers that'll be out playing in the mud if they can get a bit of rain. So at home, you would think Newdigate will be too strong, but it's Boxwood do travel well up there, so we'll go with Newdigate at home though.
In top side, Norangarup has the bye. Now, Kim, former Jerramungup player Rex Ogier made his league debut for Denmark Walpole on Saturday. and joining him with a former teammate in Hayden Parker, who also plays for the club, and also Hayden's father, Bill Parker, is Magpies assistant coach. So a little bit of Jerramunga up in Denmark.
Well, it's good to see that. I mean, that Ogier kid is only very young still.
I know he is, yes.
He's playing league down there. That's a really good effort from him, and he's a really good kid. That's let's hope that shows he can keep at it and get better at it. So well done to him.
Yeah, he did kick a goal too, so he would be happy with that. Anything else you want to mention?
No, that's about it from me up this way, Gary.
Thank you, Kim Parsons. Until next week, this is Gary Bartholomew wishing you all the best in shooting for your goals.